Right, today I'm revisiting the sourdough. So basically, we started, I think it was 2 weeks ago, we started from scratch making a sourdough starter, which we did a video every day as to what we're actually doing with it. And in the meantime, so after the first week, I started a new one the same time as everyone else, those that have done it. And in the meantime, I've been feeding this one every day, like the last time I spoke. That's kind of what the regime was going to be. That we were going to each day we were going to discard. I think it was 60 grams. Well, I've been discarding 60, and refreshing it with 60 grams, equal parts of flour and water. So 30 flour, 30 water, or as much as you take out, you put back in basically. And we were trying to get an overall volume, if you like, and what we're kind of keeping is about 100 grams. Anyway, that's kind of not desperately important whether it's 100 grams or 150. It's as much as you want, but it's just a manageable amount. That's the only reason behind that. So I've been feeding this for a week, and just to kind of let you see, I haven't fed it today, but it's still bubbly. Now I know and it's changed in smell. It's kind of got a little bit stronger in its smell. So it's changed in characteristics. So I know some had problems with the starter in the early stages, and I think kind of some of the things that's worth pointing out is sourdough notoriously is unpredictable in terms of it progresses at its own rate. So there's no kind of kind of definite thing of saying it'll take a week, it'll take 2 weeks, because it might take 4 weeks. But what we were looking for is, when we were feeding it every day, the process is basically the flour is food. And the water is, which we put in there, is to make it kind of to make it an environment for the yeast to be able to eat the carbohydrates, which it turns into sugar. Anyway, that's by the by. But the flour is food, and as it eats up the flour, you may notice the consistency goes runny. That just means it's hungry. It's consumed all the flour. So some people were asking the question about feeding and what have you, and discarding. And obviously the reason we discard is because if we just keep on adding flour, which you can keep on adding flour and water, you're just going to end up with a huge volume of the stuff, and you need more and more flour and water to feed the volume that you've got. That's why we discard, so we keep it a manageable amount. So today, just to let you see kind of the process of what I've been continuing every day, which is the same as what we did before. So I'm going to discard 60 grams, and just so you can kind of see, mine's gone a little bit more runny because it's due its feed, if you like. Like I say, once you reach the point where you've got I'll just have a look there. Once you've reached the point where you've actually developed it, and it looks fairly active and it's strong enough, then you don't have to do the feeding every day. What you can do is you actually store it in the fridge, and you get it out when you want to get it out. Actually, I'm only going to discard 40 grams there, because I don't know whether there's a fair bit stuck to the side of the jar, because obviously day on day it's a big jar. When you're emptying and adding more stuff to it, some of it dries out on the side. It's just a part of the process. So I've took 38 grams, nearly 40. So, but I'm going to put a bit more in, just because, and I'm kind of going to show you what's left in there. There's not like a load left, but that's all you need. So everything you need is in that jar. So once you start feeding it, then it just springs back to life, and it will basically, this will double in size. So my jar, every day I've been doing it for the last week or so, has been doubling in size every day. It only needs to really double in size every 3 days, and sometimes more than double, and that's fine, that's good. And after 3 days of doing that, it's kind of telling you it's getting ready to be able to use it. It's getting strong enough. It's not full strength, but it's getting strong enough where it'll work in a loaf. So the reason for the video today is just to kind of kind of kindle where we are with the sourdough, with my sourdough. And as of tomorrow, I'm going to start, because I've done a few loaves now, and you may see, sorry, I'm waving a spoon at you, Anna. Don't know what I'm doing that for. I feel like a school teacher, that's waving the spoon about. Oh, was that the board rubber, wasn't it? Used to throw that at you back in the day. Yeah, kids don't know what it's like now. Back in the day, you know, we got a bit of discipline. Anyway, that aside. So yeah, I'm going to start the process. And what I've been doing along the way is doing things side by side. So I've been making 2 loaves, and I do something different on one to the other. So the reason is behind there is so I can gain some learning of what certain things, what effect it has on the bread, either on the dough when it's rising or on the overall loaf. So I've been doing a bit of comparison and learned some more. And like I say, it's all a journey. This is all a journey for me. So yeah, as of tomorrow morning, I'm going to start kind of the whole process off. So using this sourdough, and I'm also going to use some of my aged sourdough, the one that I've got, just as a comparison to say what the new looks like to the old, and it gives you kind of it'll give you an idea where the starting point is and where we're going to end up when we actually, you know, mature with this for a bit longer. So I'm going to like I say, I'm going to I've took 40 grams out, but I think because I'm making a loaf, actually I'm going to put a bit more in there. So I'm just going to put I'm going to use 70 grams, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to discard it in the morning and refeed it. And the reason I'm doing that is to kind of perk it up a bit. So even though we feed it every day, you can feed it more just to kind of liven it and giving it a bit more activity. So that's what I'm going to do in the morning, and then I'm going to kick off. So obviously I'm not expecting anyone else to to start making sourdough in the morning, but I'm just going to go through the whole process. So I did an overview last time, and let's get some water in there. I did an overview last time, but this time I'll go a little bit more. When I say in depth, I don't mean in depth as in complex, but just show there's a little bit more to it. But in my style of things, it will be simple, because I'm simple. And we'll kind of, like I say, redo the whole process in a little bit more detail. Like I say, not baffling, but just taking the mysteriousness out of it, making it simple, and that'll be fine. So that takes actually within about 2 hours. That's done. I'll just get rid of the blobs of stuff on the end. I like to use the little cloth caps. I know I've been just put the lid on those, which you can, but what I'm finding actually with the more I'm using this, I'm getting a bit rubbish, a bit of dried dough around the edges, and then it makes it hard for the lid to go on. So what I will do at some point is get a clean jar and put this in a clean jar, and then this will get washed out and start again with that. So yeah, from the morning, I'll start the process off, go through all the stages, just explain what I'm doing step by step. Maybe show you 1 or 2 more methods of what we do. When I say we, I mean me, or what I've seen other people do in terms of when you come to hands-on what we do. But the most important part, and we'll come to this, is really it's when it's doing its own thing. That is the crux. That is the most important part, is when it's on its final kind of proving. Timing that right is kind of where it's at. So we'll get into all of that. Like I say, I just want to simplify it, demystify it. Like I say, I'm not an expert, but I think I've been producing some breads which I'm, you know, for a novice early on in the program, if you like, in the sourdough making journey. It's not too bad. So I'm not too embarrassed about the loaves I'm making. I know there's going to be better. I know there's going to be better methods, so we'll move on with that. But for the time being, we'll start with what we know, and that's what we'll do. That's all we do. We're going to start with what we know, and as we learn, we'll add to it on the journey. But we can get you making sourdough. We've got people making a start, and I know there's been a few, like I say, a few problems. One said there was some dark liquid on top. Now that's actually called hooch, and it's part of, you know, it's part of what happens sometimes with your starter, and you can just stir that in. It's nothing wrong with it. The only time you've got to be worried about your starter is if you start seeing spots in there, start seeing like pink spots or whatever, things that don't look like they belong there. But liquid on top is fine. You just, because you can get that when you store it in the fridge for prolonged periods, just stir it in. And one of the things it's actually telling you, it's probably hungry and it's feeding. But that aside, waffled long enough. So just to say, really, just to revive what we do with the starter. And as of tomorrow, I'll start doing a proper video on each of the stages, and hopefully, like I say, this is just going to be for reference for people, because I'm not expecting people to be following me as I'm doing it, so I'm fully aware of that, but it's just for reference. So when yours is ready, like I say, 3 consecutive days where it's actually doubled in size, that's kind of saying it's about ready to go. So that's that. Mine is, I'm not expecting great results because it's new. It's only brand new, so it's still got a bit of a group, you know, a bit of development to do, a bit of maturing to do, like me, I suppose. Well, saying I don't need to mature anymore. Flipping heck, it's falling out already. Yeah. What's left of it. Trouble is, I bend down, you know, and I see on my camera when I play these things back, and I can see these little balls plastic. Didn't have that before. Didn't have that before I started doing these videos. I'm blaming you lot, stressing me out, all of you. Yeah, it caused my hair to fall out. Anyway, that's yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I should grow my head like Donald Trump, should I? That's that'd be a good man. Probably protect my head against banging that all the time. So that's it for now. We're all good, and we'll start in the morning and go from there. So, right, that's it. See you soon.